Hello everyone. The following presentation is a brief summary and analysis of Chapter 19 of Oscar Wilde's novel The Picture of Dorian Gray. After remaining in the countryside for a while, Dorian comes back to London. He tells Lord Henry that he is determined to be a good person. Lord Henry says it is easy to be a good person while in the countryside because there is none of the corruption found in the city. Lord Henry asks how the change of heart came about. Dorian tells him that he has done something good. Dorian explains that a simple girl named Hetty Merton of a lower class had fallen in love with him. Dorian broke off the relationship before it went too far. Dorian believes he has saved Hetty from the same fate as Sybil. Lord Henry responds that the girl is most definitely heartbroken and that Dorian has not saved her at all. Dorian is upset at Lord Henry's constant mocking in response to situations he takes seriously. Dorian believes that ending the relationship with Hetty proves he is becoming a better person. In reality, this is an illusion. His decision is still rooted in selfishness and control, not genuine empathy. Just like with Sybil, whom Dorian treated as a symbol of art, he treats Hetty Merton as a symbol of innocence and redemption, rather than a human being. This shows that despite his claims of moral change, Dorian has not truly become a better person at all. The conversation with Lord Henry shifts to Basil's disappearance, which has drawn the attention of the police and has been widely discussed, yet remains unresolved. The City of London has been shaken by other scandals, including the sudden suicide of Alan Campbell. When Dorian asks Lord Henry for his opinion, Lord Henry responds with striking indifference, appearing more intrigued by the idea of death itself than concerned about Basil personally. Lord Henry reacts to Basil's disappearance and Alan Campbell's suicide in a very cold and uncaring way. Instead of feeling upset, he speaks about these events as if they are interesting ideas rather than real tragedies. This shows that Lord Henry does not take responsibility for the effects of his beliefs on others. He values pleasure and clever thinking more than human life, which highlights how his influence can lead to a lack of empathy and concern for consequences. Lord Henry asks Dorian to play the piano for him. He mentions to Dorian that his wife recently left him for a pianist. Dorian asks about the rumors that Basil may have been murdered, but Lord Henry finds the subject quite boring. He says Basil was only ever interesting to him when he confessed his admiration for Dorian years before. Lord Henry lives his whole life as if it is a theatre performance and he is an audience member. He only cares about what he finds interesting and does not get involved in anything else. He does not even seem bothered that his wife left him for someone else. Dorian asks Lord Henry what he would say if Dorian told him that he had been the one who murdered Basil. Lord Henry says that Dorian would never be capable of something like murder. He believes that murderers are low, unsophisticated people. Lord Henry also believes he understands how murderers think. They are people who chase excitement and might see murder almost like a form of art. Still, he says he can't imagine Basil dying in such a dramatic or romantic way. In fact, Lord Henry feels that Basil's best artistic days were already behind him by the time he went missing. Thinking again about Basil and his work, Lord Henry wonders what happened to the portrait Dorian once said had gone missing. Dorian's reply is that he never really liked the painting anyway. The conversation moves away from talking about Basil. Lord Henry then asks Dorian a question about whether it's worth gaining everything in life but losing your soul. Dorian reacts nervously because this is the secret of his own life he has been harboring. Lord Henry explains that he heard a street preacher say this and makes fun of it, as he usually does. But Dorian interrupts him and seriously says that the soul is real. Lord Henry laughs at this idea and wonders how Dorian has managed to stay so young over the years. He says he wishes he knew Dorian's secret and admires his beautiful, luxurious lifestyle. He encourages Dorian not to ruin it by being too moral or good. Dorian responds earnestly by asking Lord Henry not to give the yellow book to anyone else because it has had a negative influence on him. Lord Henry dismisses this, saying Dorian is being too moral and claims that art doesn't affect how people act. He adds that books people call immoral merely show the truth about the world. Before he leaves, Lord Henry invites Dorian to visit him the next day. This conversation between Lord Henry and Dorian highlights the contrast between Dorian's growing sense of guilt and Lord Henry's careless, mocking attitude towards being a good person. It suggests that while Dorian is beginning to recognize the damage done to his soul, Lord Henry continues to dismiss responsibility, valuing pleasure and aesthetics over ethical consequences. Thank you for watching this presentation on Chapter 19 of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Keep an eye out for the summary and analysis of Chapter 20, the last chapter of this novel.